The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is a new 40-minute short film from the mind of Wes Anderson. But does the short runtime do the movie justice? This movie is about a wealthy man named Henry Sugar who reads a story about a man who learned to see without his eyes. Henry becomes interested in learning the skill himself so that he can use it for his own personal gains, but that's all I'm gonna say to avoid spoilers. So Wes Anderson is well known for making films with heavy use of symmetry, a faded film look, teal and orange color grades, and plastic or even sometimes campy performances. His set design is also campy, but still beautiful. This all makes for a really charming and lighthearted filmmaking style. The story here itself is actually really simple, but really honestly what made it so charming was the fact that it was wrapped in this whole Wes Anderson shell. It really made the story feel a lot more innocent when in the hands of a different director, it could have been easily made into a much more darker or more dramatic film. I think that the 40-minute runtime here was actually perfect. I think that with the camp turned all the way up in this movie, a feature film would have been really exhausting by the third act. So it being in the form of a short film made it a whole lot more digestible. This movie is actually based on the book, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, and 6 more, because it's apparently about like 6 different stories. I don't know, I've never actually read the book. It was written by the author Roald Dahl, who typically writes children's books from what I understand. Some of the themes in this movie were a little bit more mature, but I will say with the overall directing style, it did feel pretty family friendly. Roald Dahl is actually a character in the movie. He's actually the initial narrator of the film, played by Ray Fiennes. This movie is pretty absurdist in that the characters that we see on screen are the ones narrating it. So they're often talking about what they're feeling or what they are doing while they're doing it, and typically staring directly at the camera while they're speaking. To further add to the camp, some of the actors are even playing multiple characters in this movie, almost like a low-budget sketch series. With this directing style generally calling for flatter performances, it's kind of hard for me to say that anyone here gave just an amazing standout performance, just because, you know, that was the vibe that the director was going for. That said, I do really think that Benedict Cumberbatch was an excellent choice for the leading role based solely on how he looked. He does just have a very distinguished look, which was great for the character while still remaining lighthearted. So this style of film is certainly not for everyone. If you've seen other Wes Anderson pictures and didn't really like the tone of the films, then this might not be for you. But I personally really loved the deliberately campy tone of the film. With most films nowadays having a more standard approach to directing, I really thoroughly appreciate movies like this that just have a very obscure and unique directing style. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is in fact a wonderful story. It's short, but very entertaining. I'd highly recommend it, plus it's only 40 minutes anyway. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If it brought you any insight at all, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. I'll see you guys later this week with my reviews of Saw 10 and The Kill Room.